Rats, Mark. Which rat story should we do first? Dana Nestle or Lafayette, Coney Island?
That's an easy one.
Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dana.
Now looky here. If incompetence were a crime, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nestle would be doing a life sentence. Even renowned mob lawyer Bruce Cutler thinks so. Cutler, if you don't know, was the attorney for John Gotti, the dapper don of the Gambino mafia family. Cutler got Gotti acquitted 3 different times before the authorities banned him from representing Gotti a 4th time. So Cutler knows something about the grime underneath the judicial robes. I called Cutler in New York to get his take on the shenanigans going on in Nestle's office. I explained how she screwed up the Flint prosecution, then Larry Nassar, then the nursing home, then her interference with the criminal investigation into her friend and political ally. Looks like you need a special prosecutor up there. That's what Cutler told me. But you're probably not going to get one. Politics, right? The legal consigliere made an excellent point. Who, in fact, does investigate the Attorney General, because the latest scandal involving Nestle, her wife, and yet another political ally should cost Nestle not only her job, but her law license if anyone in a position of power had the fortitude to stand up to her. Consider the latest case of lawfare being waged by the Michigan Attorney General. Now follow me. A group called Unlock Michigan was pushing a ballot initiative back in 2020. The initiative asked voters to repeal a 1945 emergency powers law that Governor Gretchen Whitmer used to seize control of Michigan during the COVID-19 pandemic. The state Supreme Court eventually ruled that the law and Whitmer's lockdown orders, all of them, were unconstitutional. But that didn't stop Nestle. Unlock Michigan was referred to her desk, got a criminal referral on her desk for campaign finance violations against Unlock Michigan. Nobody files criminal referrals for campaign contributions. We all know about campaign how scummy it all is. No one ever pays the price for that. Yet, Unlock was accused of coordinating with a charity to launder dark money in order to conceal the identity of donors. Everybody does it. Nestle last February announced charges against 2 people affiliated with Unlock Michigan. Those charges, believe this or not, include multi-year felonies with the potential of millions of dollars in fines. Now, what Nestle did not tell the assembled press corps that day was that 10 months earlier, she received another near exact criminal referral from the Secretary of State. That referral involved a 2020 gay rights ballot initiative called Fair and Equal Michigan, which was co-chaired by, wait for it, Dana Nestle's wife, Alana McGuire. And now nothing seems to have happened in that case. The criminal referral appears to have been buried. Despite the obvious conflict of interest, Nestle has not recused herself, as is required under the Michigan Rules of Professional Conduct for Lawyers. Nestle has not asked the Michigan Prosecuting Attorneys Coordinating Council, a state agency, to appoint a special prosecutor to consider charges against the charity that was funneling money into Fair and Equal, her wife. When you drill down into it, nothing about this episode is fair and equal. Nestle dropped the hammer on Unlock Michigan, which raised $2.8 million in 2020, according to the tax filings. But Nestle stands mute when it comes to her wife's campaign. Fair and Equal Michigan raised $3.5 million in 2020. Nestle has ignored numerous requests for an explanation, and we're entitled to it. In fact, we demand it. And the mainstream media, they continue to ignore the unfolding scandal, as has become their custom. Justice is supposed to be blind, but under our Attorney General, it's plain stupid. If ever there was a need for a special prosecutor, Nestle's troubles would be Exhibit A. Don't hold your breath, Cutler advised me, and who am I to argue? It's good free advice from a guy convicted of criminal contempt of court and sentenced to 90 days of house arrest. Then again, there's always the impeachment hearing route. Republicans hold the state house now. Nestle held a press conference nearly a year ago, and I was there to interpret for the hearing impaired. Let us roll that tape, please.
We are here to announce the findings of our investigation into alleged campaign finance violations between Unlock Michigan, Michigan Citizens for Fiscal Responsibility, and Michigan, My Michigan.
And here to interpret for the hearing impaired is Charlie LeDuff.
Unlock Michigan was a ballot question committee that in 2020 aimed to repeal the 1945 Emergency Powers of the Governor Act that Governor Whitmer used to extend a state of emergency during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's the one where she canceled the Constitution, made us all stay at home in our underpants, ruined our kids' lives, killed old people in the nursing homes. We were sick of it, and her husband was floating around in his dinghy.
Bright Spark's website boasts an expertise in compliance, which they define as knowing the limits and the laws. They also claim that they can help people and organizations navigate the intricacies.
Intricacies.
Intricacies. Sorry, did I get that wrong? Say it again.
Intricacies.
Thank you. All right. We have found that both 501c34s not only coordinated with Unlock Michigan, but we allege that Mike Shirkey and Heather Lombardini blatantly solicited contributions for the Unlock Michigan ballot initiative utilizing Michigan, My Michigan, and Michigan Citizens for Fiscal Responsibility in violation of the Michigan Campaign Finance Act.
It's called dark money and it's ruining politics. In fact, my wife is accused of the very same thing. I even got a criminal referral, but I didn't do anything about it. I know I screwed up Flint. I screwed up the nursing home Holocaust. I even covered up for the mayor's girlfriend. But this one I'll see to the last dying incompetent breath. Why? Because they're my political enemies. It doesn't matter what the people around me are advising me to do.
And where that money was coming from. And I don't say that in any way to diminish the great work of my team, just to say they're apolitical. They're not out to get anybody. They don't care if somebody is a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or nonpartisan or what have you. They literally just care about what is the evidence, what is the law, how does it apply, what are the facts, the end.
They're not out to get anybody, but I am. If I had any ethics, I would recuse myself and refer this to a special prosecutor, but I don't have any ethics. I mean, who's going to investigate me? Me? Ha! Thank you, and good night, suckers!
Live from downtown Detroit, it's the No Bullshit News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff, and Karen Dumas.
This just in breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
Well, as we told you, politicians lie to you, the media lies to you, and how do you know if your investment statements are lying to you? Remember, you're not managing your wealth. That's some unseen guy working for a big bank jockeying some unknown algorithm. But he's not making decisions based on what's best for you. He's making decisions on what's best for him and his bonus. Gambling with your hard-earned dollars, ladies and gentlemen. You should know your money, man. That's why I work with financial specialist Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. He'll tailor a financial plan specifically for you, from annuities, retirement accounts, college savings. He'll keep you up to date and always a phone call away. Let Luke Nowacki do that so you don't have to. Do not worry. Call Luke. 248-663-4748.
Know your money, man. I like that.
Know your money, man.
I like that.
So, this Nestle shit, man.
So she's checking all the boxes of incompetency to now run for governor, following her sorority sister, Gretchen Whitmer.
You mean you get the bungling boob vote?
I mean, like, that's a crazy. But this is another thing. I always, when public officials read statements, you always think about their team or their staff because they're preparing the statements. And the fact that she could not pronounce that word lets you know two things. She did not write it, and she did not even read it prior to. That's stupid to me.
It does, and, you know, it so is.
It is.
And it shows you how fake all of this is.
A lack of preparation, a lack of awareness, and you're the attorney general and you can't pronounce. Say it, Charlie.
Intricacies.
There you go. You should be attorney
Intricacies.
general. That's
Intricacies.
Crazy. Yeah,
the ins and outs. You know what I mean?
That's crazy to me. That is absolutely nuts.
You know, it's absolutely nuts. This just starts out with one finger Freddie, right? The fat guy that defrauded James Craig, who could have been governor.
Don't say that word.
What?
FAT.
Allegedly.
No, FAT. It gets you in trouble.
Fix that in post. We'll Ozemperize it. Hit the Ozempic button.
I'll Wegovy it.
Our corpulent calligrapher. How's that? It just starts with that guy ripped off Craig. He hasn't been to court yet. What gives? And then it goes to, wait a minute. Fair and Equal Michigan, which is co-chaired by Nestle's wife, paid the guy $1 million. $1 million. Craig didn't even pay $1 million. And those signatures got tossed. And we didn't hear anything about it?
But everything just keeps piling up,
Exactly.
Charlie. What happened to the trip? Let's not forget that Turks and Caicos. That's a whole, everything just blows by and everybody gets by with it. You say something, nobody else does, and they just keep going.
Now you see the media is just a hot mess. Isn't it, Mark? Do you believe that?
Oh yeah.
It's
You get what you pay for.
Right. You know, it's funny thing you say that. Once they started putting stuff on the internet for free, it started turning into you get what you pay for.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Cookies and kitties.
The subscriptions are still expensive. News, Free Press, Cranes. I mean, all of that. That's
They do have a
expensive.
special, I believe, like $1 for the first month.
Yeah, I'm paying $20 a month for the news, $20 a month for the Free Press, $250 a year for Cranes, $40 a month for New York Times.
I'm going to start a newsletter and sell it to you.
I'd buy it just for you. Well, I got to make sure we have access to stuff.
There's nothing in there, and now
It's not, but-
they're all going to parachute in here now, right? Start telling us what's what. Now that Gary Peters dropped out, and now all the guys are over there on their phones. Maybe he's running for governor. They might get Tony Dungy, the football guy, to move home and run for senator. And
Okay.
it's just garbage.
He's
and
a nice guy, though. But
he is a nice guy, really nice, super sweet.
he was here.
guy.
He was here for the Super Bowl. I did a panel discussion with him. He was a very nice guy. Ooh. Okay, I'm just saying. I remember.
Got Karen's vote.
Not necessarily. No. What are you doing,
I
Charlie?
tipped over the trash can, and all the newspapers fell out. They're shit. I don't know. Okay, so we demand an answer, Dana, Nestle, and I do find it interesting that you are now tweeting every day that you take the financial fraud of susceptible elders very seriously. It's very interesting. I am saving them,
Since when?
bookmarking them. If you know, wink, wink, what I'm saying, right? Because I'm not giving up. If it used to be like the media be all in on. If this was Kwame Kilpatrick, everybody going berserk.
Yep, they would.
There's absolutely nothing.
They would.
Remember when I found out like the nursing home numbers are fake? They're at least 50% higher, probably 100% higher. And they took all these assholes, from the media, put them in a room, denied the audit, denied it, and they all wrote it down without seeing the audit.
Yep. But that's been the MO. They duplicate the press release. They duplicate the statement, and there's no questioning, no investigation, no challenging, no nothing.
All they're good for anymore now is Lansing insidery stuff. That's all it is, right? The politicos and the political press just talk to each other and blow smoke up there. It doesn't affect us.
But we are, as residents, are at a disadvantage because there's no accountability, there's no accuracy in reporting, nothing.
That group, Unlock Michigan. What was Mike Shirkey back in the day? Was he the Senate Majority Leader? Right, he was behind that, right? And she kept mentioning his name at the press conference. And remember what that was. The governor unconstitutionally took our rights. She suspended the Constitution and would not. This was going to be a forever emergency. It was unconstitutional because you crossed the high heel mafia, right? You're going down on some obscure charges, some obscure shit that everybody does, including your wife, apparently, allegedly. Well, the criminal referral's there, so I'm free to say that. Where is it? Didn't fit. Justice is supposed to be blind.
It's not.
It's lawfare. Like I'm all for it. Quite frankly, I'm all for hitting, Unlock Michigan, but I want you to hit Fair and Equal Michigan. I want it to stop.
You have to be consistent. But, and if you can't, she should recuse herself and ask for a special prosecutor. I mean, there are some times that people need to remove themselves from their position if objectivity is even questionable.
Right. It's written down. You have to do that when you're a lawyer.
You should.
You must, because now your law license is in jeopardy. And your law license was in jeopardy before on the old lady getting bilked in the nursing home, allegedly, and you stepping in the middle of that investigation. No, that's not alleged. I got the documents. And there was a referral made to the Attorney Grievance Commission. That's where you hit the attorney, and they won't touch it.
Yeah.
Because it's political.
Exactly. But the more you do and get away with, then the more you think you can continue to do and get away with.
Hit me.
Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dana.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for a safe and socially responsible real estate investment? Consider contacting Archangel Senior Management. Senior living is one of the fastest growing markets in America. And what they have lined up here is small communal living for senior citizens. It's the antithesis of the cold nursing home corporate style of living. The one that they have a lobbyist association and they have a breakfast every year. And Dana Nestle was the keynote speaker saying, I know nothing happened in your nursing home. It's so ridiculous. Okay. Haven't forgot that either, because I actually care about your parents. This partnership provides authentic caregivers with tools and training necessary to manage their own care homes. School of Nursing, a home-based assisted living franchise system, the investor, the home, all together, and a sustainable, clean, lovely business. To make profit a nice way. The care is genuine, the owners are local, and Archangel has Overwatch. If interested in this trailblazing opportunity, contact Archangel at 989-614-0416. Please. So.
Charlie.
I smell a rat. Grace Caros?
Aye.
American Coney Island, is it? Is that, you got rats here?
I don't have any. At least, I mean,
Not the four-legged guy.
Unfortunately, my bad neighbors do. And every so often one may sneak through. I mean, I can only be on the defense so much. And once and for all, people need to understand we are not one of the same. We are not the same family. I own a broom. I own a trash can. And we actually fill holes and cracks because buildings are old. And I care about the safety and well-being of my staff and my customers. That's community. And there's a lot of naysayers out there and a lot of haters. And that's fine. You can hate, but the facts are the facts. They are closed. I am open. The health department reports are there for everybody to see. Now, if you want to make it political or if you want to make it about, hey, she needs a facelift, whoever actually...
Facelift.
Well, but I love that one because you know what? Our governor looks great. And if someone can get me the name of her doctor, I'll be on it in a minute.
No, you
She
will
looks
not.
good. Yeah, I
No,
will.
She does not.
So somebody get that for me. You know who you are.
You don't need a facelift, Grace. But let me say this. I am a very picky consumer. I am. I am. And I just happened to say this to you a couple weeks ago.
You did.
I was downstairs. I was having lunch after the show. And I usually, if I'm in a Coney Island or a family style restaurant or something, I take a napkin and I use it for the ketchup or the mustard. And when I looked, I said, this is clean. And then I looked at the napkin dispenser and I said, this is clean. Now I've already noticed just being in there when you look up, and I do this everywhere. Look at the air vents. Are your air vents dirty? And I do this.
Glad you noticed.
No, you clean them.
Yes.
I mean, but people don't understand. You can have a mop floor anywhere, but the restrooms are clean. I mean, Kirby was just talking about that this morning. She said, I think they even clean the hoses for the pop. She said, because they have the best
have
pop.
to.
Yeah. But people don't understand those little things make a difference. So you can be in a higher end restaurant and it can still be dirty.
Absolutely.
American Coney Island. And I posted a picture about a month ago of
Yes,
my
you
gourmet
did.
lunch because I was enjoying it. It's clean.
Some people don't care.
Well, I do, because I wouldn't. I'd go right out and I would be
And that's fine if you do you, right?
Yeah.
And some people don't care when someone sticks up for their business, their reputation, and their family name.
Right.
That's what the spirit of Detroit is. That's what we do. If you don't stick up for yourself and your business when you know you're not in the wrong, then you have a problem.
Where'd you come up with the idea? I know when you came up with the idea. Like, okay, so she's got a Victory Burger in Vegas in the brand new sparkling casino hotel Circa. Yeah, the owners of the D, and you have the pool concession.
They have the pool. We got the Coney up the street. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
My brother and I, yeah.
Nationwide business one, very successful, and she's going down the elevator. She's in Vegas with President Trump in the elevator, and she's looking at Showtime. It's show. Look at this guy, and she goes, "I'm holding the press conference." Is that how that worked?
Well, things were bothering me. And I didn't want, I don't associate my name. We are not one of the same, American and Lafayette. And so it got to the point where, I'm like, you know what? I'm calling this press conference and let's set the record straight. We are not the same family. We do not serve the same food. And I'm not shut down for rats. That's pretty much it.
But there should always be clarity and communication from a business perspective. Always.
Right.
And people, whether they said anything or not, because the businesses are next door to each other, it would be a natural question to wonder what's the status of the one next door.
Absolutely. So you answer back.
And you assumed a proactive approach.
Yes.
Which is a responsible position to assume.
Everybody can't be lumped into the same thing.
No,
and
they can't.
that's just ignorant. And that's pretty much all.
So who eats here? Queen of England.
That's right.
And what was it? Philip? Was that his name? God
Way
arrest
back
him.
when, yeah.
God arrest him.
Was that his name?
What a consort. The guy just pulled it off. He's born for that. Greek too.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
Bill Bonds, Coleman Young,
old
Carol
timers.
Channing,
Those are all the old timers. And
delivering to Trump's plane, Clinton's plane. Come on now. Come on. Right?
everybody.
Here's what's going on. Stay off of social media. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a hater or whatever you're going to do.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something. I started working here in 18 when I left Fox 2 because I knew it was going to go down the tubes. That thing's so down the tubes watching this whole thing. And I didn't have any health care. I was like, oh my God. It's the first time I didn't think about it because you get a job, you get health care, and it was kind of immature. And I came to her and I go, do you have any work? Do you have health care? She goes, yeah, we have company plan. I go, wow. At a Coney, wow. Do you have any work? And she goes, you can start by fixing the tiles under the fryer. And there it went. So I do the walls. I do the roof.
And the windows.
Next door, they had a tree growing in their roof. And I'm like, dude, it's raining and it's getting in here. Let me get you a roofer. Let me go in there and patch your floor for you. Let me unclog your ice machine. Yes, I'm affiliated here, but I'm a reporter. Nobody knows this like I know this. Nobody knows. You have no conception what's going on down here. I will tell you. This morning, the stock that was delivered last Monday was put back on the truck of the distributor. Somebody is going to eat that.
Distinguish where, though?
I'm not saying
Sorry.
name. Somebody is going to eat that. Possibly. I hope they. Why would they take it back? Throw it away.
They throw it away.
Okay. Well, I just know this. The chili here is made by the company owned by you. Only for this place. And the hot dog is made only for this place. It's a special recipe, right? So here's you and the Coney words. Tell me if I'm wrong here. We all have a root in Detroit somehow, right? Grandpa, great grandma. I was born at Hutzel, whatever, right? And most people left. It used to be a city of 2 million. It's 600,000. So you don't have a root in Detroit. So the fact of the matter is, the most violent and virulent of you, you don't have a route to the city. So de facto, what you do is when people come into town, let me show you the best Cony Island in Detroit. Let me just show it to you, right? And you have no conception. So this becomes your Detroit, but you look silly today. You look absolutely silly because when the health department in a landmark business shuts it down for rat shit, which carries trichinosis,
2 times.
leptospirosis, 2 times. That's
Disgusting.
so. I guess I'm mad because those guys down there, when their windows crack, I crazy glue it for them so they don't put their hand through it. They don't have Windex right? They don't have grease
business.
scraping.
Well, I mean, how?
I'm just saying.
Okay, I understand that.
You know.
But if you there are certain things that you have to do and have to execute
Yes.
in the just basics in a business. So how does that work?
Let's just there's a hole, you plug it.
Yeah, it's there's basic protocols.
But that's what I'm saying. Like how? So why are they?
If a raccoon gets into your attic, you shoo the raccoon out, and then you seal the attic. You don't leave the hole open and store your garbage up there. I mean, it's not rocket science.
And you
Hydraulic
clean it.
cement. This you guys see this building? Those of you watching, not listening, this thing's from like 1850.
Yeah.
They in fact sawed the top 2 floors off of this. Down here you got the glass and steel. That's the 21st century. Then you've got the sandstone columns. That's the 20th century. This is what's left of the 1800s in the buggies. It's a wonderful building, right? I like those guys over there. But when you start putting out press releases like, I set you up, motherfucker.
Yeah, like it was a setup. Like I was walking around, snuck in there and threw rats. But you also have to spend money, thousands of dollars, not hundreds, thousands and thousands of dollars.
I was laughing because every time I come down here, I have to battle with the Orkin man for a parking space, and he's in here, and so
Well, you have to pay for service.
Well, yeah,
once a
I
week.
understand
You have
that,
to pay
but-
for trash once.
but
This is
Mark
what
and
you
I
do.
were
You don't
laughing.
put it in your car and drive it away.
But Mark and I were laughing about that because
There he is.
he's here on a regular basis, and that's something that you have to do. That's part of that's maintenance.
For
So,
those listening now, watching, that's the Orkin man.
it's my parking stealer.
You have to maintain. You have to take
you
care
do.
of things.
You do.
And that's pretty. You want to like that one more and be a fan, go for it. I'm not here to hurt anyone's business, but by what's happening to them is hurting mine. So enough is enough. And this is why we're talking about it. How
my
many
name.
more times you can't learn your lesson the first time, you're going to learn it the second? I doubt it.
Well, I was surprised that people, as soon as they opened back up the last time, people were in there.
And
So
that's great. Let 'em.
And that's fine. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I
mean,
my
there's one
comfort level.
dipshit from the local news, right? The TV. Well, Americans not without its sins. I pulled up the last 5 years of the health inspections. Oh, was there one for the ice shovel was left in the ice? Oh, was the pie
Those are my violations.
Was the pie cooler 2 degrees? Was it 42 and not 40 because it was lunch rush and it was opening and closing with the delicious lemon meringue, strawberry cheesecake, and my favorite, the coconut cream? Could that have been it? Wow, really? Not rats, you dipshit. What kind of reporting is this? Look, I Googled something. My God. So I know what it's about. I know what it's about. You don't have a root, and this is it, and you're going to stick by it, and now you look dumb because your cousin's calling you from Peoria. I don't know if somebody walked in. I don't know who that is. How you doing? Somebody calls him from Peoria and goes, hey, Bobby, you took me to the rat den, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I guess you had to defend your business. That's why you did that.
Of course, you're going to defend your business and your grandfather's name and your father's name when it comes right down to it. And don't be talking false and fake stuff. That I hate. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Will one slip through here? That's why when I talked, I said I'm constantly on the defense, having to worry about what they're doing next door. And you are right. We've tried to help them. We've tried to give advice. We've offered them repair people, service people. They've been riding my coattails enough. Get your shit together or get the fuck out.
Today they took all this shit, threw it in some buckets, put them on a kid's wagon, and hauled it across Michigan Avenue and are dumping it in the hotel's dumpster because they don't have trash cans, they don't have pickups, or if you really want to know. Hey, go ahead, you guys go ahead and write it. You just put it there. Dude, I like those guys. Not so much today, but I saved their roof. I saved your fucking roof, you morons. You moron. You're going to do that? Guess what? Everybody come down Sunday at 2:30. Guess what I heard? Breaking news. There's a Black Panther rally against Lafayette for serving rat-infested shit to the community. We got Panthers coming. This is great. It's so Detroit, man. A lot of people. And they'll probably stop in for lunch because when you want to get those revolutionary juices going in, man, I suggest a nice gyro. I mean,
I'm just
and a
telling
piece of
you,
pie.
just from my perspective. I mean, I know Grace. I love Grace. She's an excellent person. She's always been there. When the community calls, you respond. I mean, from years ago, long before we started doing them, Grace has always been there. But I'm just telling you from my perspective. When I go somewhere, I am paying attention. I watched when I've seen, a wait staff bend down and tie their shoe and then walk back and it's like, no, go wash your hands.
Right.
Whether it's a fast food restaurant, whether it's a white tablecloth restaurant. I remember when they had everybody had to wear a mask. I didn't want to eat because the people were sweating. So are you dropping sweat into my food? I don't like when people approach me when I'm eating and they're talking
Do you
over
know
my,
that?
So I'm very conscious.
You're not required to wear gloves when you work in a restaurant. Your hands just have to
right.
be washed.
But that's the health department.
But here you do.
Yep. The
Here
health
you
department.
do. This place is clean. When I first
And the
started,
hair.
and she said,
We're
"Get
so
down there and fix the
uptight.
tile." I sit in the chair when I come in on my day, right? Mm-hmm. And I sit and I look. I sit like where a customer would sit, and I look around, like under the sink, or in the corner at the tile, or at the footing of the tables, or there's spots on the window. Like, there's a high chair here. Has it been wiped down?
Yep.
Basic. Are the coolers clean? It just stuff happens.
Yeah, I mean, but people don't think like that. And I mean, when you sit there and you watch and you pay attention, I don't want to eat somebody else's germs. I don't want somebody shaking my hand while they're eating.
agree.
All
Let's
of that.
give all the proprietors down here their due.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a city. There's rats everywhere.
Oh yeah, right. Those comments that it's a city. Every city has rats. Absolutely, they do. Every restaurant has rats. No, they don't. That is the most dumbest comment I've ever heard. Because if every restaurant had rats, then there wouldn't be anywhere for you to eat. They'd be shut down. Which one is shut down today? I won't say the name. You already know.
This isn't New York.
But come on, you spend money and you maintain your building, like Charlie said, like you said. You take care of it for the respect of your customers. If you don't respect your customers, there's nothing more I can say.
What happened to remember there was supposed to be an inspection thing from the city and they were going to post, like they do in New York with the A, B, C, D rating. Did that whatever happened to
It
that?
hasn't come to fruition, but the stuff's on. They'll get their act together too.
Well,
They're actually doing a very good job.
Yeah, the health department,
Health
buildings
department's
department,
doing
they
a
do.
great job.
You
Buildings
see
is
the
awesome.
police. You see, Kenny the paraplegic. You see everybody come through here. It's awesome.
Everybody.
It's really where Detroit meets. So, yeah, I mean,
Are you taking us to lunch?
and the most efficient government agency in this city, parking.
Oh yeah. Gotta hand it to them.
Speaking of rats, hey, Mayor, give me a break here, man. Come on.
They got their license plate. This is Charlie's car. Go
They
give
know
him a
they
ticket.
got
Oh, and that one's coming. Oh, everybody getting a
got a
phone
picture
call.
of your car.
Everybody wants to move up one. You're getting a call. You're getting a call. Oh, it's coming, baby. And you know what's coming. I know you know. It's going to be great. Okay. That's the show, but I want to leave you with this. Let me tell you the origin of the Coney dog. Proprietary hot dog, the Greek meat sauce, which is a 108-year-old recipe, and why it's called the Coney Island. Konstantin Kyriakopoulos walks down from Dara, the village up in the hills of Greece, 1906, a dusty road, no electricity. He gets on the Francesca, and he sails to the New World, and he gets off at Ellis Island. And I went and looked up his manifest. He had $25 and a pair of shoes. But before he got on the train to Detroit, he visited Coney Island, Brooklyn, and he saw the electric lights, the new Ferris wheel that was invented for the Chicago World Fair, Feldman's Hot Dog Emporium, right? Which it was like a big beer garden with hot dogs. He remembers this. He comes to Detroit. He tries the pickling plant, the auto plant. It's all written down. You just got to go to the historical museum. Look this guy up. In 1917, Michigan, 2 years before national prohibition, bans alcohol. So it was illegal in Michigan, just like caged eggs. Okay.
What a joke.
So he might be a country bumpkin, but he was no dope. You know what he did? He goes, let's open a speak in the basement and some card tables. And to keep him gambling and drinking, I'm going to give him that hot dog I saw. I'm going to put the meat sauce on it. And I'm going to call it Coney Island. It was invented here. This was America's first speakeasy. The press was allowed to go see it. Please, please patronize the restaurant. And call me Dana.